So, welcome to election time. Everybody's talking about Hillary and Obama and McCain and about this policy and that policy. And I've heard a lot of people uh, saying things like Hillary's a socialist and Obama's a socialist, and neither Hillary or Obama are socialists. No more than McCain is a socialist. Uh, they all espouse some socialistic ideas. As every president since FDR has. Um, the New Deal was socialist. Um, and everyone supports the New Deal because you know what? That saved America's ass after the Depression. So when you talk about socialism, socialism is not about taxing the shit out of you and giving that to other people. That's not socialism. Socialism is about the workers controlling their own destiny, about the workers being in control of their jobs, and that's more of what happened in the early part of the 20th century when the socialist movement started. It was grounded in the workers' movement and the workers' rights movement. I'm sorry, and in this day and age, in the 21st century, what socialism is about equality, is about not necessarily taxing everyone and giving your money to somebody else, or to capping what you make so that you can't make more than your next door neighbor. That's communism, that's authoritarianism, that's totalitarianism, that's Maoism and Stalinism and Trotskyism. That's not socialism. You guys need to get over that and go read a book. Did I already say that? Everyone on YouTube needs to go read a book. In fact, here, read this book. Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. It's an excellent book. You might want to consider reading that. Really, it has nothing to do with socialism, but has a lot to do with how our political system is structured right now, and how they're taking advantage of you, and really it's the party of big money and bankers, and is controlled by the IMF and the World Bank, and really how they're going to indenture you for the rest of your life, and the Socialist Party is completely against that. So all you people who are saying that Obama wants to spend money on fighting global poverty, that's not a socialist idea. Socialism, yes, we want to end global poverty, but not by taxing you. That's not what socialists want to do. Socialists don't want to take your money and then start a trust fund for every kid born in America like Hillary says she wants to do. That's not a socialist idea. If you think that's a socialist idea, go to your library or go to Google and look up socialism, and then compare that with totalitarianism. Very different things. Oh wow, I haven't talked for very long at all. Let's talk a little bit about how socialism got started. Socialism started back in the early, it's grounded in the Marxist theories, and of course Marx looked at the idea that laborers really did not control their own destinies, and that he thought it was a likely scenario that workers were going to rise up and take control of their own destinies, and do things like form unions and fight for workers' rights. And in the early part of the 20th century in America, that's what we saw. That's what the Socialist Party went out and fought for, and bashed their heads in picket lines to fight the landlords and the money handlers and people who controlled monetary policy in America. And out of that, what we saw was the New Deal. The Democratic Party took the socialist platform basically and ran with it in 32, and we got the New Deal, and so now we have the beginning of the federal welfare state, which I'm sure some of you don't like, but it's really the basis for, you know, a lot of the foundation of our economy today, and without it we'd still be where freaking Mexico is. And so you know, we now not only do we have unions, which got you your 40-hour work week, and now you can claim overtime if you work over 40 hours. Now you have health insurance, not even universal health care, just health insurance. That's a socialist idea. The fact that you can pay a standardized amount every month and then be guaranteed to get medical coverage. Not everyone has health care available, or health insurance available. Socialists would love to see everyone have access to health care. Universal health care is a socialist idea. The way Hillary and Obama, you know, are proposing it may not be completely the socialist model for doing so, but it's along the same lines. And really, most socialists today are what you call democratic socialists. They're trying to work within the Democratic Party, which is, you know, what I do. I feel like I can work within the Democratic Party to enact change, because the Democrats are most likely to embrace socialist ideas. And once again, socialism is not about taking your money away from you. Socialism is not about forcing you to work for a minimum wage, even though you're a highly skilled laborer. Socialism doesn't want to do that. Socialism wants to protect you and your rights and your money, and enable you to work for a better life. Eventually, Marx theorizes that, you know, once we've achieved socialism, that will eventually evolve into a classless and stateless society. But that's a long time off. I mean, we have to go through the socialism phase, and we aren't even through the capitalist phase yet. And so, you know, crying out that socialism leads to communism, well, yeah, but how long has it taken us to get this far? You won't see it. You know, it's not going to happen in your life, and when it does happen, it's not going to be a bad thing. We aren't going to have the totalitarian regimes. We are not going to have Maoist states or Trotskyism or Stalinism or Leninism, those types of communism that jumped over the steps that Marx theorized about. And so, you know, if you enact a socialist idea tomorrow, you know, next week you aren't going to have communism. And a lot of people get confused about that. There's a lot of people that are scared about that. And that's all left over from the McCarthy days, where people thought that communism meant being like Soviet Russia, which is not what communism is supposed to be. That was corrupted communism. You know, once again, go read a book about this, because go read the Communist Manifesto, and to get an actual sense of what this is, and go read, you know, Google socialism or read some socialist websites, and get an idea of what the socialist movement is trying to do today to help you. We're not trying to take your money away from you. We're not trying to make you pay for poverty halfway across the world. That is the system of the bankers. That's what the economic hitmen want you to do. Economic hitmen want to take your money, and they want to spend it elsewhere so that they can indebt other countries and take their resources and then sell them back to you. If that idea pisses you off as much as it pisses me off, maybe you would be a socialist, and you just don't know it yet. I think there's a lot of you out there. So post some comments. Let me know what you think. I'll do a better video about socialism in the future. Okay, talk to you later.